Well, tonight I'm down here just taking a quick look at this tool post that came with that South Bend lathe deal that I made. This was one of the items. This was bolted down. The actual cross slide of the lathe had been modified, drilled and tapped so that this could be bolted down to it. Looks like originally maybe it was designed to use these two holes here to bolt down to something. Maybe even the compound, I don't know. But I posted this up with the other parts for sale, and I've already got 2 inquiries on it. Everybody wants to know what I want for it. Problem is I can't decide what to ask for it because I'm not sure what it's worth. And I tried searching for one like this, and there are a lot of these 4-way tool posts out there like this. You know, and some of them I've seen go for as little as 20 bucks for this section up. And then some of these, you know, quite a bit more expensive. And then this particular one, it's on this base, and the way this works is when this handle is tightened down, of course it's ready to cut. When you loosen this handle, if you rotate this, this whole thing turns. I gotta get gloves on. So anyways, what I was saying is this whole thing turns, and there almost appears to be some sort of a mechanism to this. Loose enough. I did it before, I don't remember exactly how. But there's a mechanism in here, and what this does is it locks this in at 90 degrees. So this will turn. See, now I can't figure out how to do it. Well, it's just like 4 wedges in there. Clearly that you tighten this, that pushes the 4 wedges in, that tightens this all up. Alright, looks like this mechanism works to drop this pin down to unlock this from spinning. To unlock this and allow this to spin. And to make this do that appears to have to do with this rod. Alright, I took this apart before and must have fouled something up when I put it back together, because this was working when I took it off the lathe. I wonder if it's just easier to take these 2 screws out on the bottom and figure out what I'm doing wrong here. Well, that's strange. Oh, I see. It's supposed to be just the turn of this handle should make that right there. Move it to that position. That's locked, and then back, and it's supposed to go over to here to unlock this. And you see it clicks back in. Automatically it locks in the next position. Question is, alright, and then you lock the handle down, do your cut, and then you pull this back. And when I just pulled it back just now, what should have happened is this should go back to here like that, and it doesn't. Which tells me this is supposed to be locked to this somehow. And it's no longer is. What I did wrong here. Well, if there was a spring in here, that would push that back every time. That would work. But there isn't. Oh, it's an Allen screw right there. That's what's going on. Well, you can't tighten that Allen screw with this on. So obviously what I need to do is I need to take this nut off and the handle and this nut and drop this all out that way. Tighten the Allen screw and put it all back together. Well, I kept trying to hold on to this nut, and then I realized that this nut is actually attached to the handle, so just held on to the handle by putting it in the hole in my shop table, and then was able to get this nut loosened. So now, I'm assuming, yeah, there we go, this handle with the nut unscrews. This has seen quite a few years of somebody beating on it with something. And then we got 3 washers, this spacer narrow side down, this big spacer, and now that gives me the rod. Gives me the rod. So now I'm going to thread this onto here, and I'm going to tighten that set screw. Alright, so now with the set screw tightened on, put this back to the bottom. This spacer first. This spacer next. A stack of 3 washers. This handle. Alright, so that right there would be in the tighten position, and then I flick the handle back this way, nothing happens. Alright. Oh, okay. Yeah, this would have to turn with it, so maybe when this nut is tightened on there, that's how that works. Let's see. I can see getting this to work correctly is going to involve just the right combination of tightening these two. Maybe that's it there. Yeah, see right there it's free, and then that locks it in, and then you bring the handle all the way over this way to tighten it up. Alright, so that unlocks it, and then it automatically, apparently when you go around this direction, will throw the handle the other way to lock it again. So it seems to be working okay. So now I want to see whether or not I could find any maker's name on this or a way to ID this thing. I'm going to start by taking this little boring bar off, because A, it's really not the right style of boring bar. It's not really the correct way to mount that boring bar in there. And I think I can put that boring bar to better use somewhere else down the line. So I'm just going to take that boring bar off. You can see this boring bar is being held on by this one hold down. That's no way to hold a boring bar. Yeah, nothing special about it, but I'll keep that for myself. Alright. Now let's see. Well, a piece of packing. Guess we can leave that out too. Well, it looks like it's going to remain a mystery as to who the manufacturer of this quick change, well, not quick change really, it's I've seen it described as a turret tool post. I've also seen it described as a four-way tool post. Although a lot of the four-way tool posts are just this top piece right here with a regular T-nut in the bottom that would slide into, you know, your slot on your compound. So this kind of falls into a little bit different category, I think. You know, this may have even come off of a turret lathe. You can see it seems to be working fine now. So I'm going to take some more detailed pictures because I've had 2 inquiries on this already. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can't get $60 out of one of those 2 potential buyers for this thing. And if they both squawk at that, well then I'll know for sure that I'm in too high of a price range. And I figure for $60 I'll include the shipping. And this is a little heavy, so I think that's going to work out to probably be about $40 plus shipping or so.